We are going to get started on our meeting this evening, and we're going to jump right into awards and recognitions with Mr. Parker.
All right. So we're always thrilled to use a few minutes of our board meetings to highlight the outstanding efforts and accomplishments of our students. It helps ground us, I believe, as we focus on the work of the board to support students, staff members, and our schools. But I promise you, the recognition portion of this evening will be pretty quick. And I mean that more than just in my words, but in the people that are coming up here. So once you hear who we are celebrating, you'll understand just how fast I mean, though you might still not appreciate my dad joke. Oh, wow. Wow. Join me in a round of applause for the Great Crossing High School team who recently ran away with the competition as they won a gold medal and earned distinction as the state champion KHSAA Class 3A Indoor Track and Field State 4x400 Boys Relay Team. All right, now, I'm gonna say a couple more things. I'm gonna say a couple more things about you. Yep, y'all are coming up
Said they
fast.
were fast.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Oh, I'm going to open up a couple of them. Oh, did you? Who won? Just tell me. What's going on?
Real quick, let me finish up. So, congratulations to these new state title holders. So we have with us, raise your hand when I call your name, Joshua Holt Smith. Zion Gonzalez. Senior Dylan Russell. All right. Senior and anchor Ray Inwa. All right. They are coached by Ryan Russell and Keith Hager. And coaches, if you all could join us up here too. Might not be as quick. Coach Amir? Well, I didn't have that. Come on up here. Come on up.
I opened up some more for you.
Coach Mears our sprint specialist. So
Okay. All right. There you go. I got points for you all. Yep. I remember this guy. He was running, but we were. Wait a minute. I got to do that. You're killing me.
Right, guys.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
That's so nice.
All right. I'm out of jokes.
Oh, okay.
I'll just pass it back off to you.
Okay, all right. Well, I was going to say congratulations, but they're already out the door. I think you're hard to lie. Congratulations. All right, next up, agenda approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, public comment, Mr. Davis. Good evening.
I don't need anybody to yield me any time, okay? I'm good. I'm good
All
today.
right. I think you understand all of our limitations, our time, and
Well,
And we got the Mike Davis shot clock again.
listen,
Yes,
that
we
you
do.
it
It's right there,
ain't mine.
Mike.
I see it, I
do we
know.
have the buzzer yet, or no?
Look, y'all gonna do a better time. I saw fake, they have a big one up there faking.
This works for us.
Yeah, I know.
We're happy with what we got.
Good, you should be. Good evening, board members, superintendent. fellow colleagues, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I stand before you on behalf of Scott County Education, and now it's nearly 550 members, with two things in mind: gratitude and urgency. First, let me be clear, we're very thankful for everything that's happened. Over the past 4 years, this board has made meaningful progress in our eyes. You've invested in the people, strengthened our district, and demonstrated a commitment to moving Scott County forward. That leadership matters and has made a difference. But as tonight, as I always come and talk to you about, I always talk about the next step. As we finalize the plan for the 26-27 school year, as you all know, I'm continuously asking for a $3 across-the-board raise for our classified employees and a 4% raise for our certified employees. That's simply not a request, but it's just what we believe is needs to be a reality. A recent report just came out this week that in Kentucky, that reality is that we're 42nd in the nation in teacher pay and 49th in classified pay as far as starting pay goes in this state. Now, that doesn't mean that's where Scott County is, but that's where our state is. It's being outpaced by Indiana, Ohio, and Tennessee. That's not what I believe if you value education where you should be as a state. And we can't control everything that the state legislatures do. I understand that. And when you adjust that for inflation, Kentucky teachers are earning significantly less today than they were in the mid-2000s. Over the past 2 decades, rising costs in housing, healthcare, groceries, fuel have steadily outpaced our salary growth. In fact, when adjusted for inflation, Kentucky teachers are making nearly 20% less than they did in 2008. Wages have not kept up. That means when salaries have gone up on paper, in reality, many educators and staff are losing ground. This is not about perception, it's about purchasing power. I went past the gas station today and gas is $4.19 a gallon at that gas station, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. It's not about whether the people who serve our students can afford to live in our communities they serve, but about the impact that it has on those people. Our classified staff is the ones that I believe are the backbone of our daily operations. The bus drivers, the custodians, the instructional aides, the cafeteria staff, all of those people that we preach over and over again about how important they are. And yet, they're the most significantly financially strained. Some of them who don't work 8-hour shifts that only get 4 and 6 hours, sometimes are only working just to pay for their health insurance. And being at 49th in the nation in pay when they start out is just something simply that I don't believe is acceptable in a country where we have such vast resources. A $3 raise right now would put them in that above that $17.50 threshold, which the state of Kentucky considers a living wage if you have no children at all. Because when we lose classified staff, we don't just lose position, we lose consistency for our kids. These people are valuable. They are the backbone of our neighborhoods and of our neighborhoods and of our districts all the way around in this school. Our certified teachers, obviously, we continuously add expectations to them, as we should. The public demand more and more because we have the most precious clientele that you can imagine anywhere else in the world. We take their children every day, and they put the faith in us to take care of them. Yet nationally, our pay has dropped significantly, almost 25% whenever you include inflation. A 4% raise is not excessive. It is necessary to retain high-quality teachers we already have, attract new talent, and remain competitive in a region where every district is fighting for the same people. And I want to thank you all, no matter what, with my time left, I want to thank you because there's other districts neighboring us right now that are in a real struggle, and I do believe that it's important to make sure that you all understand that I appreciate the fact that you all have been very good stewards with the taxpayers' money because I am a taxpayer in this district. But I do believe that where we are right now, we can still continue to grow and move forward. So I hope with this proposal that I've given you, I've already sent it to you many times in emails, and I've talked to you and over the last couple of months where I haven't had as much time to speak. But I want you to make sure it's about equity, it's about sustainability, and it's about leadership. I want to help move forward with you. I appreciate everything you've done for us, and I appreciate your leadership and commitment to Scott County Schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard that. turned my mic off. I didn't say that.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you all.
Yes, we did say that. Number 6, consent agenda items A through I.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, construction report. Hi, Tony. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Fortunately, there's a lot of pictures because there's been a lot of progress. So, like to go, yes. So, I'd like to go over a few with you tonight.
I guess that's the one plus for the 5th driest April, is that what it was up until a couple days ago?
Well, and that happened to be, yeah, and of course, I try to keep the pictures as current as possible. So the day that I went out there this week was the day that it was pouring rain. Mr. Parker was out there too. It was,
Yeah.
yes. So I didn't get out on the site a lot, but was able to take some pictures, of course. And we were out there with the drone too. So I've got some drone shots as well. But here's just a good shot looking down on the site, and you can see it was dry the day before, but of course everyone knows the rain that we had really got the site very wet. You can see all of the roof is covered now, not with roofing, but nearly dried in, and they're working on getting the windows in. You can see the pond, the retention pond, and to the upper right. That was empty, practically. That rain was so hard, it filled it right up. So yes, it's working. It's doing its job, and it's slowly leaking out. But just a beautiful shot of the countryside there too. But we were able to kind of do a roundabout that's a little bit closer and showing now the cafeteria and kitchen, which have a roof on it, and the beautiful scenery in the background there, even with the clouds. It just. So this is just doing a clockwise rotation with the drone around the site. You can see a lot of people still there working, a lot of people in. Now they got a lot of places to work inside, so that's good. Keep going around. The geothermal well fields are pretty much done. They're in the lower right there. You can see the construction trailer up at the upper left. But again, a lot of the roof on, and when we get some closer pictures, you can see how much brick is actually done. And all the yellow, of course, is the foam insulation. That'll all be covered up. I've had some questions about a yellow building. No, it's not a yellow building. It used to be black with the damp proofing on the block and before the brick went up. But no, it will all be solid masonry eventually. That's just a little bit more of a close-up on the shot there. And we'll keep swinging. Now we've swung all the way around, looking at the other end. And if you could see a little bit, there's brick on that end, and that wing that was further along, of course, has a lot more brick on it now. And there's been some cleanup along the fence row and the upper portion of the pictures there. And there's a shot kind of just right down on the floor plan of the building. You can see a little bit of difference on the roof on the right, because that's the storm shelter area. And again, they still have the cones and the ribbons around there for the people not to fall off. And there they are. You can see the flags and the ribbons that are keeping people from getting close to the edge of the roof. So this is kind of a frontal shot. You can see the brick going up, and of course there's a bus canopy that will eventually come out from there as well. But a lot of progress there. It's just a little bit more dynamic shot, just right there at the front of the entry, and you can see the entry vestibule as you go in. That'll be glass up above, and you can see into the interior space there. Backed up a little bit and look to the right, you can see the brick is all the way down through and wraps around the other end. So the brick is all the way along the front of the building there, and most of the classroom wings are completely wrapped now. And that's just a detail. You can see the white glazing block that we put in the pilasters, the different brick colors, the good job that they're doing on the stone sills and the soldier course above. So I'm really happy with the job that they're doing. Windows are going in, so that's a plus.
Was that Tuesday?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's when they were doing tracks and sills and preparing, but before I left, they were putting them in. So now they're rolling on the windows. So that's really going to make a difference on the front of the building. And you can see a lot of the trim work. Now, if we step inside into the vestibule, you can see all of the work going on. That's looking through the media center doors into the things that are going on in the media center above. And I know some people, have made the comment about, being so similar to Creekside, but really, a lot of those details are different. A lot of the colors obviously throughout, the exterior and the interior are different. A lot of those soffit details are going to be different. But that's in the vestibule looking into the media center. This is if you go into the office area, that'll be the general office area. You can see all the blocking where there'll be TVs and things like that mounted on the walls, and you can still see the offices through there now. Of course, mechanical and plumbing moving along. They're doing a good job with the studs and blocking work. This is in the storm shelter into the corridor. You can see the accent color will be blue on that one end. Some more soffit work going on, and just a lot of the mechanical and electrical work already done, as you can see in the ceiling space there. And of course, a lot of block filler and paint on the walls. So, in fact, in some places there was a little too much. I was like, wait till you get the building closed in. We don't want to get moisture on the walls. So I ventured up the now steps into the mechanical room. Or I should say the mechanical mezzanine. You can see a lot of work has been done up there. And of course, this is easy access for the maintenance. They're just going to really appreciate that. And you can see all the ductwork going right down into the classrooms below. Of course, there's a wiring closet up there as well. For the data center, there's two, one on each end of the building. You can see grid going in. This is looking down from above, from the mezzanine down into the classroom spaces where a lot of the grid is in. Again, you can see a lot of the mechanical work done. The rails are up on the mezzanine. Just an interesting shot of the storm shelter. There'll be a door that goes there, and you can see how we really have to beef up the structure around that thing. And
Was that custom?
that steel is.
Okay, that's.
Oh, yeah.
So when we were up there looking at it a week before last.
Yes. All the steel framework that is going around the penetrations through that, well, they call it a firewall, storm shelter wall, all custom. Now, the doors are nearly custom, but of course, there's manufacturers out there that now make storm shelter doors, and they have to meet certain tests and things of that nature. So at the other end, of course, you can see where the orange walls are. So another shot from the mezzanine.
I appreciate the way that picture shows up. It shows up a little more red than volunteer orange. So. We had a little fight earlier today about that, so.
Are you allowed to say that word? I'm giving her a hard time too, because they beat us in football. I know, that's why I had to say something. But we got them in basketball. So now we're in the cafeteria. So you can see, so much progress since there was no roof, I believe, the last month when I showed you this picture. And of course, the wall going into the serving line area. If you look to the left, you can see the two-sided stage, the opening to the gymnasium, and the opening on this side into the cafeteria. That big steel beam that you can see above will be a folding partition, which acoustically completely blocks off the cafeteria from the other side. So if you wanted to have two events going at once, one in the cafeteria and some kind of play or drama or seminar on the other side, you can just close the partition and you'll be acoustically separated there. This is looking at the slab you see in the background there will be where the cooler freezer is, and that's the kitchen area basically. So again, you can see a lot of progress there. This is the serving line area. So you'll see your colored serving line there, and that's where the kids will walk through on the right, and the kitchen staff will be on the left. Now I'm walking back through to the media center. Now that cylinder is typical between the two schools, but that is the circulation area with their office behind it. And the kindergarten rooms are actually behind that area there. There's a reading area to the right there. So a lot of significant progress there. They've got the back canopy they've got on. If you remember, that's where the car riders, if everybody chooses to keep it as the car riders, which I think they will, but that's the car rider canopy going out to the back side. And here's I'm standing under that car rider canopy now. This is the back side of the storm shelter wing, so you can see they've come all the way around. So the brick is really moving. There was a progress meeting this week, and I know we've both been there throughout the month, but this last month they have progressed even more than we really thought they had. So it's been good, and people are on the site all the time. They've done some concrete work in the back. There's been dry enough weather to dig holes in the ground and come up out with some form work and some concrete. So this would be the ramp, and that's the rebar there you see is for the dock. And that's just another picture of the detail there. I thought I had another picture of that one might have got out of order there, but, so that's just another shot way back far away, to kind of the north and east, looking back at the site. So like I said, there was a progress meeting this week. At the next progress meeting, they told us some dates that they were kind of shooting for once we decided that, August was difficult. Once they get it dried in, they're going to give us a schedule by the next meeting, and it'll all be dried in. So we'll look forward to reporting that to you at the next meeting as well. But progress is good. It's looking good, and we were real happy with the way things were Tuesday at our progress meeting.
Is this as steep as it looks, or is that not true?
I wish I could tell you. It's kind of behind some trees there. I like that barn right next to it, though. It's a barn. That's the barn I had in the picture earlier. It's got a good view of it from the front of the building. But honestly, I don't know. I can check on it.
Doesn't seem like there should be terrain.
I
like
think
that.
it's just, I don't know if that's an area that's been a little tilled and then it's
Yeah,
gotten
just
really
like it
wet,
up a little
really
bit.
wet. And it does look like there's a little bit of a slope there. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It almost looks contoured down. I don't think it's that steep. Yeah, I don't think it's as steep as it looks. And that's actually off
Sure,
that
that's
tree line.
nice.
Yeah, that tree line is actually the edge of your property there. So. And that is it for the report, unless anyone has any questions on any of the pictures or any of the progress or. Okay,
Good, thank you.
great, great. Well, thank you all.
That's exciting. Thank you, Tony.
You're very welcome.
Number 8, student achievement report. Yeah, now I do. Yeah. Good evening. Oh, we got a big crew.
Yeah, we do, yes.
We have something fun in store for you all today.
Oh, okay.
Good, yeah?
Oh, a cheer.
All right. So Creekside, if you want to come on
Yeah,
this
with the
side,
Creekside
Dave,
over here.
Brown on this side.
They're grown women now. My babies.
Good. Everybody okay?
I know. That's silly. Those silly polls, I'm telling you.
All right,
Okay.
good evening. We are so excited to be here. I love when we can bring our teachers to share some great things that are happening in our schools with you all. So tonight we are going to be talking about the Instructional Coach Program. Just a reminder, this program is available to elementary schools, and these positions are MTSS Instructional Coach split. They are part MTSS, part Instructional Coach. In 2024, 2025, we started with 2 elementary schools that were interested in the program. So this was our pilot, and it was highly successful, which led to this school year where we have 7 elementary schools who are taking part of the program. And one thing to note is that Scott County Middle School and Scott County High School, they fund their own instructional coach positions, but those positions are, they participate in our PLCs. They're a part of our team. We do professional learning with them. So they are part of our group as well.
Instructional coach in math or ELA?
So actually it's at Scott County Middle School. She's part-time MTSS, and then she's part-time instructional coach. And I think a lot of her focus is around iReady. But Ms. Beckett could speak more to that. If
All content areas. It's
Okay.
based on what we see as the highest need.
Got it, all right.
Mhm.
Same as Scott County High? I'm struggling with it, and I talked to Billy about this when this first came out, how that would apply at the high school level when, as an instructional coach. a
Well, and those
math
are-
major gonna
Yeah,
help.
those aren't really district positions.
Right.
Those are school-based
Right.
positions. So how they have that organized, we don't really have a whole lot of input. But I do know Courtney, who is here also at Scott County High School. She spends a lot of time also with math and English, and working with those programs.
I
Yeah.
was just curious
Yeah.
kind of how it looked.
It's more about
Yeah.
best practice in
Yeah.
tier 1 instruction.
Okay. Pedagogy is
Then it is
opposed
fun.
to, okay, fair enough.
So that leads into next year where where we will have all 9 elementary schools that will be participating in our instructional coach program. We offer support to our instructional coaches, and so this is just a snippet of some of the professional learning that they have had. We have partnered with CKEC. They have had asynchronous trainings online, book studies. We've also tapped into some of our experienced teacher leaders for certain trainings around APL and things like that. This is our official coaching cycle, and you've seen this before, but it's just a reminder of what that looks like. There are 2 options for an official cycle, a full cycle, which is 4 to 5 weeks, and a short-term cycle, which is 1 to 2 weeks. We have had 50 teachers who have participated in an official cycle. So that could be a 4 to 5 week cycle or a 1 to 2. This does not include all the touch points that we've had with outside of the official cycle, because coaches are helping plan, they're helping to look at HQIRs, they're modeling lessons that isn't necessarily reflected in this data. The cycles that we have completed, this shows you what the focus of those have been. Majority of cycles have been on OG, which is Orton Gillingham, that phonics-based instruction. We have had 25% of our cycles on classroom management, and 12.5 in small group instruction. That other 25% is just a hodgepodge of other focus areas like engagement and elements of an effective lesson, PLC collaboration. Official cycles have instructional goal setting, and we use the instructional playbook checklist as a way to help coaches and teacher partnerships meet their goals of the cycle. And with these checklists, utilizing them, we have been able to see that 100% of teachers who have participated in a coaching cycle have made growth of some sort. So we were very pleased with that finding. The largest area of impact is reflected on this slide, which is culture of trust and confidence, instructional support, collaboration, student outcomes, and classroom management. And you're going to get to hear firsthand tonight about some of these things and how the impact has happened in 2 of our school buildings. We also did a survey with principals who participate in the program, and we wanted to know how instructional coaches help support their leadership goals and their vision for their school. And so a couple of findings that we found were that principals said that coaches have broadened the effect that they can have on classroom instruction, because coaches, principals they're spread in all areas. So coaches are able to help them support their teachers in the classroom. They're also able to give effective feedback to teachers. And I love this quote that one principal said, that it's feedback they deserve, which I thought was pretty impactful. And then also coaches give a non-evaluative support to teachers, so they're able to be a thought partner and to help really improve that instructional practice. So that leads us to the main event, and I wanted to introduce our panel. So we have Sam Bonner and Laura Brock from Stamping Ground Elementary. Stamping Ground Elementary was in the first year in the pilot program. And then on this side, we have Blair Combs, Elizabeth Willoughby, and Emily Biggs, and they're from Creekside. And so Creekside was new to the program this year. So 2 different perspectives. Also, Laura has been a first grade teacher for a number of years, so very seasoned experience. And I shouldn't have said seasoned. I am also seasoned. Yeah. And then, absolutely. And then me too, girl, me too. And then on...
what it is.
And then on this side, we have Emily has been a teacher for a long time, but new to kindergarten. And then Blair is new to kindergarten as well. So again, two different perspectives of how coaching can help support. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to ask a question and then Stamping Ground will answer. And we will awkwardly pass the mic down to Creekside and then they will answer. All right. So, ladies, can you briefly describe your roles and how your coaching partnership began?
So Laura and I formally started working together in December. Our principal presented to us some newer iReady tools that we could use, specifically in the area of reading fluency. And so since Laura's a first grade teacher, specifically for them this year, they had some challenges because their class sizes were really large. And we just know the importance of preparing our first graders for second grade, specifically in that area of reading fluency. And so that's kind of how we got started.
So I taught kindergarten for almost close to 20 years before taking this position as instructional coach. And so Emily and Blair both came on to kindergarten for the first year. And so it was just kind of a natural partnership. And so we started even before school started to just plan out the year. And Emily's been at Creekside several years and she's a respected teacher. So it was really good for me to get in with her so that people could see how the program would work. And Blair's now a respected teacher because she's been there this year, and they've just done a great job.
Okay. So if I had bopped that on my head, I might have died. Okay. All right. So what instructional goal did you focus on together?
Our goal, Our goal was to improve reading fluency for students who scored below the 49th percentile on the iReady diagnostic. As she had said, we started this in December, so we could really see where the kids were, but they were not identified as Tier 3 students, so kind of the middle. We used repeated reading as our fluency strategy. Can you hear me? Sorry. Using the iReady fluency, we understood that fluency is not just for children who need to work on their literacy, but also to deepen their skills. Yeah, good.
What goals did you guys focus on?
The main one that we focused on was OG in the classroom because I'd done it for so many years. So we started at the beginning really with classroom management, just how to set up the kindergarten classroom. And then it kind of, turned into that. And then while we were in that cycle, we realized, we can use OG to practice discourse and questioning strategies. And so it started there, but just like when you're a teacher in the classroom, it turned into a million different directions. So.
Okay, so what actions did the instructional coach take to support teacher growth?
So before we really got into the meat of it, I had to figure out the resources and the tools. I organized and analyzed our pre-assessment data. And then after we kind of had that, I led a PLC, several PLCs, got teacher feedback, and then we started to dig into the process together. So I helped them create a process for instruction, and then we met periodically throughout the process to review what data we're finding and how we can refine instruction.
Creekside.
So we just did a whole lot of planning, especially at the beginning of the year, because kindergartners are curious little creatures. And so we did a ton of planning, and then I did a ton of modeling, and then we moved to co-teaching, and then I would go in and watch them, and then we would meet and talk about, some different strategies and tools that we could try.
So because of this partnership, what changes have you noticed as a result?
The plan we implemented as a team changed the way that we did instruction in our small groups. We focused more on literacy, and we would test them biweekly on their fluency.
As a result of our partnership with Elizabeth, we've seen just meaningful growth in our instructional practices. And on a personal note, I've just been completely more confident in what I'm doing. The first few weeks of school, I was scared to death. And being from fourth grade for so many years, going down to kindergarten, it's a huge change for me. So just having her by my side and to ask all the questions that I didn't want to ask our principals, and knowing that she's an experienced kindergarten teacher, it was just magical to have her and to be able to see her modeling examples for us. And then we also had to take the OG training this summer. And so that was a lot of information packed into 1 week, which was great information, but just to see her doing it for us and then doing it with us and then letting us do it on our own was amazing. And it just helped us with our strategies, and it helped us gain like all of these new, I guess, strategies we could implement in the classroom. And my confidence is just way higher because of Elizabeth helping me this year.
Okay, so because of the partnership, we want to have impact on student engagement and learning. So how did your partnership impact that?
So I actually have some examples of student data. So through the iReady platform, I was able to use that for our progress monitoring. So on this sheet, you're going to see 4 examples of our student data. Started in January with that first initial baseline assessment, and I progress monitored them officially once per month. So that bottom goal line is based on a typical rate of improvement, which is about 2 words per month. Or actually it's 2 words per week, sorry. And then the top goal line shows an above average goal that is specific to each student that would get them to that 50th percentile range on grade 1. And so there's 4 months of data points on most of those. I think one of them only has 3, but the blue line is the actual student's performance. And then that shaded in blue is that 50th percentile range, which was the ultimate goal. So you can see that there's a lot of growth just over a short amount of time. And Ms. Brock is going to talk about a little bit about that.
In my classroom, I had a student who came to me very self-conscious about her reading, felt like she wasn't a very good reader. And so through this, she has grown from 15 words per minute to 40 words per minute in 2 weeks. Now, at the end of the year, her iReady score has really grown. She is up into the 1st grade now, where she started at Emergent K. It's all confidence. It's all, she feels like she can do it now. So she really has grown in her reading and her fluency skills.
Okay. So as a result of this partnership, I have observed clear student engagement and overall learning. So through Elizabeth's support, I was able to incorporate clear instructional routines. In our OG book, I feel like it's super scripted and it tells you step by step what to do. And it's really intimidating as going into a first-year kindergarten teacher. Or in a new school. So I feel like watching Elizabeth model in our classroom and show us step by step and gradually increase our participation in the lessons with her also teaching was able to help our students become effective learners. They also have clear expectations in our classroom. So every week they know exactly what we're doing. They follow the routines. They're engaged learners. I even said in my classroom, every Monday I put the letter on my board of what we're going to do, and students are so engaged and excited that they'll try to guess the letter before we even learn it. So it's nice to see that they're encouraged to learn. And then after implementing these practices, students became more actively involved in their learning. They use the hand motions that we teach them when we go through our letters every day. They participate in choral responses, and they remain more focused throughout instruction. And it increases engagement in our classroom, and they're super excited to learn.
Okay, so this is super important, but what part of the coaching process was helpful to you as the teacher? Because that's our goal. We want to be supportive to the teachers.
looking at the research with Sam was very helpful to be able to dig in there and really look and see what is there that can help us become a better teacher. We looked at the research and the best practices in fluency and word recognition, and together I developed a better understanding of the strategies that we can use to meet all learners in our classrooms.
The most helpful part that we noticed in this coaching process was just observing Elizabeth model. Elizabeth was always in and out of our classroom, and she was never bothered when we asked her questions, no matter how small or big they seemed. Seeing effective practices in action allowed me to better understand on how to implement them and how to apply with confidence in my own teaching. I feel like now in our classrooms, our learning needs are so diverse, so it's really nice to see from a veteran teacher how to kind of support all the needs in our classroom. Additionally, having a coach I could rely on for advice and guidance was valuable. I felt supported in many ways that felt manageable and encouraging, and she helped us take things off our plate rather than add things to our plate. And overall, the experience was extremely positive and impactful, and it made a significant difference as our confidence as teachers. So, thank you.
So what made this coaching partnership effective?
So Laura and I have known each other for a few years, but just the positive relationship that we have together has made it very effective. And then just a shared sense of urgency and knowing that we needed to support our students.
All right. The coaching partnership was effective because Elizabeth's consistency, supportive approach, and just her kindness and willingness to help in anything. She was regularly present in the classroom, which made her support timely, relevant, and direct connection with my students' needs. If she was in there modeling a lesson or co-teaching and she saw that a student was struggling, she was able to target specific needs for that student that maybe myself or Emily wouldn't know how to do. So it was really nice to have that direct feedback right away. And then she was also extremely patient and always eager to help, which created a positive and trusting environment. Being in a new building, I was in a different building for 6 years. It's kind of intimidating to ask for help, and Elizabeth always made it super easy and comfortable. And I feel like next year it's very simple just to go ask questions because she's always willing to help.
All right, last question. What advice would you give to other teachers and coaches beginning a coaching partnership?
So truly, this is about student achievement, but my job is to support the teacher in reaching their classroom goals. So my best advice would just be to truly listen to understand what their goals are, and then use the data to develop that strategic plan together.
My advice would be that you have to have a really strong connection and you have to trust each other. As a classroom teacher, you have to know that the feedback that's given to us is not a critical thing, but it's there to help us be better and for us to get to the common goal, which is to help our children succeed.
My advice for this process to anybody that asked me would just be to do it. I know a lot of us were kind of scared at first because we didn't know what a coach would bring to us and if that added more things for us to do. But just do it. The process was truly so meaningful, and she put in probably thousands of more hours into us than she really needed to do. And she is there every step of the way, the lesson planning, the co-teaching. We really felt like that we had her support, and it just made us grow into a better teachers. And so I would just suggest that everyone try it, and she will help them, and they will be thankful no matter what happens. And she's really happy that we're giving her all kinds of stuff.
So in conclusion, we really just want to thank you for these positions and for the opportunity to have this instructional coach program in Scott County Schools. We are just finding it's so valuable. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you to our teachers and coaches. While we're transitioning a little bit, I heard a little bit of different language, but I heard a little bit about synergize. I heard a little bit about seek first to understand, then to be understood while they were up there. But I also think this was a situation where we were thinking win-win. You know, me and Mike, Mike, you still here back there somewhere? Yeah, okay. We have conversations a lot about supporting our staff, and sometimes that is in monetary compensation. But sometimes it's in instructional resources, and sometimes it's in instructional support. And, you know, I thank you to Stephanie and Paul and Wendy for, you know, when we started this, again, it was Garth and Stamping Ground, and in 24-25, it was 0 positions that the district was responsible for. They went on a limb, went after it. Then we had a very structured and intentional approach to this. This current school year, so 3.33 positions are paid for by the district through this. Next year, 7 positions will be paid for by the district. The year after that, 8.33, and then the 28-29 school year, it'll be 9.0. So it you know, I know for you all, it's always like, oh gosh, like, you know, 9 positions. But the way we've approached this, we've been super intentional to make sure that we're trying to not just throw a position at all our schools, but it's really structured, and it's what I like. I love natural consequences, and I love the fact that everybody's got a little skin in the game to get it started, and we've got them all working together and participating well. So again, we'll get to that point where it's 9 full positions that the district's paying for, but by dipping our toe in the water a little bit more every single year, it doesn't feel like some big, humongous ask. So,
Can I say something?
since I invited this, I guess.
But because I'm the president of the Austin Central District, I've been in so many other counties, and it's really neat to listen to some of them talk about being instructional coaches and some of the pushback they get. And it's great to talk about the intentional planning that they did here in Scott County and how they planned it out first before they did it, and what success we've seen about it. So it's really great to see how we approached it at the beginning and how it's paid off the dividends that we're seeing here now tonight. So I commend the people that started it and the way that they took it, and now the way it's grown in the right direction, because other counties who have tried it are seeing different results. So I'm commendable to you all.
Yeah. And again, I go back to the trust that we have collectively as a board superintendent team, that you all are like, yeah, let's do this. And I mean, we're seeing the impact. We're seeing the impact.
So can I say something before they leave? Because 2 of the young ladies, women, were my cheerleaders back in the day, and it makes my heart warm because I was coaching you, and you're coaching, and it just makes me proud. So thank you all.
So can I?
I'm so proud of you.
Can I ask one question then?
Yes.
So does that mean they have to do a toe touch?
No, yeah. But they're very capable of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, these are my Georgetown Middle School and Scott County cheerleaders, and I'm just very proud. So just want to say, you all have grown up to be amazing women, and thank you all so much for sticking it in with staying in as a teacher, because it's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Presentation. Number 9, approve Scott County Schools Technology Plan for years 2026 through 2029.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, approve contract between the Fayette County Board of Education and Scott County Board of Education to provide third-party CDL examinations.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 11, approve agreement with ProTeam Food Service Advisors, LLC, and the Scott County Board of Education.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, approve fiscal 2026 financial audit contract.
So move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 13, approve dual credit memorandum of agreement between UK Next Generation Scholars and Scott County Board of Education.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, approve addendum to current Spectrum fiber contract for Oxford Elementary.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 15, approve transportation agreement between Scott County Parks and Recreation and Scott County Board of Education, 6/26 through 8/26.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, approve the 2026-2027 school activity fund budgets.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, approve to create, ratify the following positions, 17A through 17M.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, approve emergency certification for substitute teachers for the 2026-2027 school year.
Move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 19, renew award bid for Fidelity Bond on the Board Treasurer and Director of Accounting for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 20, renew award bid for school treasurer bookkeeper bonds for fiscal year 2026-2027.
So move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 21, renew award bid for sanitation service and cleaning supply proposals for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 22, renew award bid for pest management service for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 23, renew award bid for trash and garbage pickup or disposal for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 24, renew award bids of general maintenance supply for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. I am having a, hold on just a moment. I think I'm missing part of number,
25.
yes, I think that's,
Item 25, renew award bids for general maintenance hourly for fiscal year 26, 27.
yes. Okay, go ahead.
Need a motion?
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 26, renew award bid for fiscal year 2025-2026 audit to Barnes, Denning and Company.
So move. Is that year right?
I'm sorry,
25, 26?
for fiscal year 2025-2026,
Aren't we?
Yeah, that's.
Would it be 2026?
26, 27?
Feels like we're
It is
Oh,
this
it's for the
current
one-
year?
Okay.
Oh, it's for the one we're doing. I thought we just did it.
Well, that was the audit contract.
Right, but I thought we just had the audit.
You had the 4-5. This is 5-6.
Thank you. You cleared it all up.
Let's do this again. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
So move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 27, award proposal for diesel and gasoline bid for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Move. Second.
2026, 2027, sorry.
Making sure right.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw
Yeah,
you.
no, I have a blank screen on the bottom, but I'm good now. It's all there. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 28, award general school and instructional supply bid for fiscal year 2026, 2027.
Move.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 29, approval of the 2026 capital funds third request.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 30, approve surplus items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 31, financial statement.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry about all those. I have included in your packet the financial statements for March 2026. Our beginning cash balance was $85.9 million. We had receipts of $8 million, expenses of $16.4 million, leaving our ending cash balance at $77,172,471.68. Of that, $7.3 million was in investments, and that is our construction account, leaving our ending cash balance at $69,778,398. Any questions?
No.
I just wanted to share with you all too, with the legislature that just happened, House Bill 67 was signed into action as an emergency. And in that summary of reporting, it now states that we have to have the tentative budget law 2 weeks prior to the board meeting. And with our board meeting being the 14th, this afternoon, you will receive the narrative and the document. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. We'll talk a little more about it in May.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Number 32, approve current bills.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 33, superintendent report.
All right, under strategic leadership, so you may recall, or you may not, Scott County High School's graduation last year, first one on site, a little bit different, parking's a little tighter. We had a logistics meeting to go ahead and discuss that. So that, I mean, again, we're just trying to get out ahead of it, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it under another standard here in a second. Non-renewal and reductions letter delivery. So I just wanted to point out again that happened earlier than normal. The date that we are required to provide those notices, both of those notices, is around May 15th. But what we've done is, we generally are letting our folks know before spring break. So then we're waiting 5 or 6 weeks. Why do that? So we went ahead and provided those letters. That's why you saw an abundance of new positions on there all at once. I would suspect you won't see quite as many positions the next few months that are being school paid, because we've kind of knocked it all out here at this April meeting. Bus garage overhaul revitalization project. So we've got a new bus garage supervisor. We've got a new mechanic, new but old. He came back to us from being gone a few years. And we've got another position currently posted. They're doing great work back there. They completed 29 inspections this week in 4 days, which is, that's a pace beyond what we're really needing them to have. We've got 2 lifts back there, and one of the lifts does not work, so we ended up getting 4 wheel lifts, essentially, and essentially you dolly the lift underneath of each wheel. They're synchronized, they lift up, and because now we've got enough staff where we can utilize 2 lifts. I've never seen grown men as burly as grown men as our mechanics are, so close to tears in all my life. You'd have thought that it was Christmas. And it is pretty neat because they're synchronized. They don't let it get within like 1.5 inches off, like if the front's heavier than the back. So it's just really, really neat. And they had one of our trucks, because we can use it for our trucks and for our vans. In the past, we haven't had any way to do that. We'd have to send them off. So in some ways, we're finding ways that it's more advantageous. You saw on the surplus, there were 8 items tied to the garage. And again, we're getting things cleaned up, and it's just we got a great thing going on back there. Instructional leadership, I got a chance to go to Creekside today. They had Heritage Day there. Lemons Mill had theirs a couple of weeks ago, and I think the official World Heritage Day is April 18th. Thank you to my friends from SCA helping me find that earlier today. But anyway, our ESL students shared about their culture, and what was really, it was actually, I learned a lot about the Democratic Republic of Congo and, areas of the world I did not have any awareness of. And again, the struggles that some of our students have been through in their short little lives, and it's just amazing. But what I thought was neat is with their projects, many of them had the Profile of a Learner little pinwheel on there, and they would talk about which areas of the Profile of a Learner they were demonstrating through their presentations and could talk about it. It was really neat. They did a really great job over there at Creekside today, and just I commend Principal Patterson for what they had going on over there. Another great thing we had going on, and I think this was right after the last board meeting, we had a Secondary Leader in Me event hosted by Scott County Schools, secondary schools. We had other schools from across the state and other states that were at that event. The neatest thing for me was I walked in and I was talking to Paul, and Paul said, "Do you see what they're doing over there?" And it was an activity that our teachers do for their students that we got from a cohort at CKEC. So I was able to reach out to David Young, who's the executive director for CKEC, and say, "Hey, David, just wanted you to know, this is how meaningful it is. Our staff they're doing these things in front of students to where students, when they were coming up with how they wanted to present, they were like, well, hey, what about that one thing we do?" And so they ended up using it and building it into their presentation. And it was just really cool to see. And again, I'm really excited about Stephanie and her team and how we're making sure that we're giving our students an opportunity to be leaders in this district. And that's really, really what it's about. Cultural leadership. So Ava Craigle, I believe she came to the board meeting a couple board meetings back. She was the young lady who did the KSBA courthouse picture that was at the KSBA in the binder and all the things. She was honored at fiscal court, and they're going to take that and hang that in the courthouse. And it was just, that was pretty cool to see her continuing to be honored for her artwork. I also saw her at the Georgetown Community Hospital art show that they had that I think I spoke about last month. You all are aware, and this had happened before the last meeting, that we did lose a student at Great Crossing High School. And while it's not something that we plan on doing, the size of the funeral was such that they had reached out and asked for us to provide a space for that, and we used Great Crossings Auditorium. I couldn't imagine it going any better. Kudos to DT and a variety of individuals that helped us to really kind of get that going. But it was again, that's what we're about. We're going to step up when the community needs us, and that was a demonstration of us doing that. And the family was incredibly appreciative. Has not been a good month for us. We lost Officer Hodap at Scott County High School. I did not know Officer Hodap super well, and when he came and started working for us as an SRO, I was like, who is this? And everybody was blown away. They're like, you don't know Officer Hodap? Because a lot of people, Brent Allen being one, had these just wonderful stories. And you talk about somebody that was just was where he needed to be, being around young adults, and his loss will certainly be felt. But the impact that he made was tremendous. And I just wanted to make sure I brought that up tonight. Human resources leadership. We've had several selections, and we're kind of down to the end now. So unless something that I'm not aware of happens, I think I might have some time for some other things now. But we've gotten through it, and I thank you to Stephanie, and she's helped me out with a few of these and helped me get through it. And again, kind of speaking to what Mike Davis had said, I think we've got such a great thing going here. People want to be here, and we can see it through the fact that we're getting larger numbers and greater experience of people that are coming to the table wanting to be here. In preparation for something that didn't end up going my way, I did go to the Mercer County Teacher Retirement Presentation. Jason Boer, superintendent there, he has been doing for multiple years a teacher retirement presentation that I had heard about through the grapevine from others that was very impactful. I'll probably do some version of that at our PD Palooza. I went there with the hopes of kind of merging that with Senate Bill 124. But unfortunately, I finally know what it's like to try and champion legislation that doesn't make it. But it didn't not pass. It just stalled out. It got its 2 readings. It needed a 3rd reading and a vote, and it didn't get it on the House side. So, I do think too they added some things to it that had nothing to do with the sick day cash out piece, and I think that that's where we ran into some trouble. Matt's planning, or Senator Nunn, excuse me, is planning on bringing that forward again. So we plan on pushing forward with it. We crunched the numbers on it, and I think that it's one of those things that it'll pay for itself, but I think the cost is way less than people would think that it is. So really excited about the potential for that. I hate that it's going to be pushed back, but it gives us time to be more prepared for when it rolls. Oxford Elementary progress meeting site visit, again, things are rolling there. As we were getting to getting the bus garage situation where it needed to be, we did have KDE Transportation come back for a follow-up visit, and they were thrilled with what they were seeing in terms of knowing the challenges that we had in the previous meeting and knowing what they were seeing when they came back. And again, it wasn't a gotcha. It felt very collaborative. It felt like we were really working together. I did want to spend a little bit of time talking about WEDCO and Beautiful Minds. So, I think it would be fair to say, this was even prior to the pandemic. There's no paper really with it, but just prior to the pandemic, Beautiful Minds, it's a program that provides mental health services for students. And several years ago, the WEDCO director, Crystal Miller, at the time, we had talked, and there were some changes that happened with the program, and we just kind of felt like it wasn't really, it was doing great things, but it wasn't worth the money that they were putting into it. They were putting into it $200,000 into the program, and just didn't feel like we were really getting a bang for our buck in terms of how many kids they were working with. It got to a point where we just about decided, Crystal was asking us questions like, do y'all really want to do this? Because I don't know. And we got close to cutting it loose. Well, we've got a new director at WEDCO, and one of the things that Crystal had been starting that Rachel Winkle the new director, ended up championing, I don't know. However, yeah, so it was getting with UK, because UK is who the program's through, and really just refining it. And they've refined it to the point where Brent and his team, because I reached out to them and said, hey, I need to know, last time we kind of talked about this was not a direction we wanted to go. It has been a full 180. They do tremendous work for our kids. The number of kids that are getting serviced keeps continuing to grow. WEDCO's wanting to expand it, and it would increase us from having 2 days a week to 3 days a week at our middle schools, and a half day per week during the summer. And again, that's just for behavioral health counseling services. And then we'd have a school psychologist support 1 day a week at the middle school during the school year. So they were reaching out to us because, again, they're going to put another $100,000 towards this. Now, again, WEDCO services us, Nicholas, I think part of Bourbon maybe, and then Harrison counties. So it's not just us, but they were reaching out for feedback. And we're not in the middle of a pandemic, so I'm not having to have a whole lot of conversations with Mrs. Winkle, or Dr. Winkle. But we, when we do, the partnership that we have with WEDCO is no different than it was when Crystal Miller was here. And I think that that's just a great thing. And I just wanted to publicly share and make sure you all had awareness around the fact that the work WEDCO is doing for us on our behalf, I mean, we're talking, again, 6 figures for our kids in our community. It's tremendous, and I just didn't want it to go without being recognized.
Is it something that happens during the school day or after school?
Yes, during the school day.
Okay.
Yeah. And Brent, remind me if I'm wrong, but there's not every student's financial situation is different, and with this is a situation that we kind of reserve for students that might not have a situation that they can provide, because we have other offerings too in our district, but this is one that if they're in a difficult financial situation, this gives them opportunities that they wouldn't get otherwise.
The counselors have influence on who is able to get those spots, and so they are able to service those that otherwise would not be able to afford anything.
So like I said, I didn't want to take a whole, too much time, but I did just want to make sure, again, we're not talking about WEDCO all the time. And the other thing too is that's the beauty of our community is we've got so many things going on in the background that nobody even has a clue about. And it's not that we're trying to keep it secret or anything. It's just that there's just a lot. And this was an opportunity to just make sure, that's a pretty big commitment, and just wanted to publicly thank WEDCO for what they're doing for our students.
Will you tell us again which schools that this is in?
The middle schools.
Okay.
Just middle schools. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Didn't want to tell you wrong. Last thing under collaborative leadership is, again, Scott County High School graduation situation. I mean, not only did us and our teams have conversations around that, but then we have reached out to other districts that do similar things. One of the biggest changes that we're planning on implementing this year is, last year it was anybody that can get there can park on site until we're out of parking. Well, then we ran into the problem of people were coming in and they didn't know that they're driving past where they probably should go because there's no parking on site. So we are stealing an idea from our friends in Jessamine County, and I don't know if they do it for both of their high schools or one, but each graduate, not only will they get their rainout tickets for if it shifts to inside, but they will also get, I think, what do we call them, carpool? I think we're calling them carpool passes. So they go 2 carpool passes, and that will,
Encourage. and
we hope,
educate, yeah.
naturally, because I remember getting out last year, and just out of curiosity, because we tried to encourage it, and I remember saying, okay, 1 person per car, 1 person per car. This will naturally encourage people to do this. We will still have overflow. We're going to do overflow at Ann Mason and Royal Spring. And then I can get into all the details later about why that ends up making more sense. But anyway, it'll be, we're really excited. And again, I wish this took place after, well, anyway, I wish it took place a little later in the school year, but, I think we're going to be ready for it. And I'm really hopeful that, I'm not saying it'll be perfect this year, but I do think that if nothing else, it's an effort for us to acknowledge that it wasn't perfect last year. We know it, and we're going to try to get closer to perfect, so that we can, again, continuous improvement, go team. Last thing, I talked about Senate Bill 124 update, and then I've been asked to take over Matt Thompson. Matt Thompson worked in the district for many years here. I knew Matt Thompson. We both started as teachers in Franklin County, and I remember battling against him as an academic team coach. Not a lot of people know about that piece about him, but anyway, he is retiring, and he is, yep. So he is retiring. I think they've already got his replacement, and as he has been heading up a part of the new superintendent training for KASA, and I've been asked to take that part over. So 3 times a year I'll be helping out with new superintendent. So yeah, I'm excited, and it's given me an opportunity to work more with Matt, and I love doing things with Matt because Matt is I love being around people that I just love being around people that know what they're doing, and like being
a lot of him when he was here and was sincerely sorry when he left.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, a little bit long, but that's my superintendent's report.
Okay, busy time.
Yep.
That time. Okay, number 34, our board comments, and I'm sorry, I was remiss. Our Becky Nelson had planned some time away and unfortunately wasn't able to join us. We knew that when we put together our schedule at the beginning of the year, but I did not mention that at the beginning of the meeting, so please forgive me. Eleanor, we're going to jump in and start with you. Sorry. I startled you a little bit, but go right ahead, Jimmy.
Several weeks ago, I was invited, our sorority was invited to Great Crossing and their horticulture and to the greenhouse. And we toured that, and then we went into a classroom. And it was the 2 teachers that presented were wonderful. They did an outstanding job. And last year, we went to Scott County and their horticulture department and their greenhouse. So I feel that it was just, both of them were great And then tomorrow I'm going to, and I think somebody else may be going to Stamping Ground to a,
Gateway
is it?
presentation? Is it gateway presentation?
yes,
Yeah.
their fifth grade presentation. So I'm going for a few hours tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of things going on this month coming up. Lots of things going on. So that's exciting.
All right, thank you. Susan?
Glad to be here.
All right.
Glad to be here as well.
Okay, well, there we go. Number 35, move to close session pursuant to KRS 61810-1B to discuss property and pursuant to KRS 61.8101C to discuss pending litigation.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.
You mind the property card? Tony's
Have fun
still
this
here,
month.
And DP. part of that.